Hello everyone, it's Scott and welcome back to another episode of Regrowth. Well, I didn't really get much farther in the liquid lithium tank because I've been doing a lot of upgrades around the base that's just been eating a lot of time. But the first discovery, and I really call this a discovery because I haven't seen this anywhere, is that these advanced solar generators can still provide RF power when they're configured as the multi-block with the solar evaporation controller. So even though this is still ticking away, the RF, they're producing quite a bit of RF power that's feeding the rest of my base for all the other wacky things that I'm trying to do. So I did a little extra crafting, and I have a second evaporation controller up and running at this point. And what's happening is I'm actually feeding it through a piping system here, where I created a new valve, or moved the valve that was down here in the corner, and that is now directly pumping the brine out of block A into block B, where it's becoming liquid lithium. And all I have to do is make a new piping network to bring it up to the upstairs lithium tank, where I can start using it for other things. Now, when I said that I've been doing a lot of kind of maintenance and crafting items, one of the big things I did is over here, I added a room that was specifically thermionic fabricators. So I went through and I created formulas for each of the various electron tubes. And what I have here is a kind of a wacky gadget. This yellow dense cable is hooked up to the ME system, where I'm right now producing sand in the ME interface. And so, as I showed before, what I wanted to do is make sure that I have a crafting card, which I don't have a formula for. Okay, so I want to make sure that I never run out of sand when I'm pumping sand up to the thermionic fabricators. Now, what's interesting is, and why I blocked all these off, is that when there's a logistics pipe that pipes into a fabricator, if it's sand, it's going to go into the upper left first and then start feeding the internal inventory. So I wanted to be able to block the internal inventory to restrict it, so if extra sand were to come in, I'd rather that the logistical transporter not even pipe it in the first place, so it sees that there's no available inventory slots for additional sand. But the ME interfaces are programmed with the electron tube pattern, so they can dump the gold and the redstone here on top, and then that'll see in the internal inventory that it's now capable of producing the electron tubes, and then those will get sucked out the side through logistical transporters over here to this common chest, where they will be imported back using an import bus. And so why didn't I use, I could have used 4 different import buses, one on each device, but you know, the import devices are still kind of a hassle to make, so I'm not going to push it at this time. Now, over here in the ore area, so I made an upgrade here with crafting cards to basically auto-craft gold, iron, copper, and osmium. Those are now feeding a greatly expanded smeltery. So this is, yeah, this is like I want to say a 72 block smeltery. It's just really deep, and so when this produces a liquid here in the internal inventory, it's piped out almost immediately into this diamond fluid pipe network. And so the diamond fluid pipe is a liquid filter. Mechanism does not have its own liquid filtering capabilities. You can't. There's no sorter like there is for items. But anyway, the Railcraft fluid pipes are able to basically create a whitelist. So in this case, I force osmium is the only liquid that can go out the bottom, and all other liquids get passed on to the right. And then that kind of just shuffles down the lane here with each additional liquid type being forced out. And then underneath there's an array of 4 casting basins each, which are able to just basically plow. It plowed through something like 6,000 of the magical essence. Now over here I have an upgrade. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to produce redstone chips. But the problem is that if I dump redstone in an assembly table that has other chipset types, an iron chipset takes both redstone and iron in order to produce. Well, that redstone would end up being consumed by the red chip, the redstone chip, which then would leave the iron behind, and it wouldn't craft anything. So I had to split this into 2 separate assembly tables, and then each of the assembly tables is then hooked into the ME network through these encoded patterns and interfaces. So that way I can just kind of dial up. I haven't needed to make a diamond or quartz chip yet, but when I do, they'll be pumped out of this assembly table. So that way I don't overlap with the redstone. And again, I have them redirect their output into a common chest, which is fed into the network through an import bus. Now, the mechanism universal cable works a little differently than the Buildcraft cable, because these are allowed to basically work in a grid pattern, as you can see here. They don't have that restriction that the Buildcraft has, where if you create a loop, it ends up just like overloading. But unfortunately, the Buildcraft RF power didn't seem to interface with the universal cable, so I had to take my energy cube and plunk it down here, and it sort of act like the buffer between all of my Buildcraft lasers and the Buildcraft system. So that's kind of leaving my base without a battery supply. So one of the first things I wanted to do actually was start crafting a new energy storage cell. So in addition, I added a new molecular assembler. I added a whole bunch more interfaces. So I'm going to be upgrading that too shortly. Yep, as it's turning dusk, I'm going to end up with a problem very shortly. My base is just going to, black out, since there's no nighttime power other than the fuel, the biofuel generators. And the last thing I want to demo that I did in between episodes was I finally got the Metallurgic infuser fixed. And so that involved creating a logistical sorter, which is basically whitelisted each of the items to go down either the left channel or the right channel. And that has overcome the issue here with feeding items into the infuser. So it's basically and then this chest basically ensures that there's no backup. So even though all these different items types all use coal, I don't have that issue where I think it was being caused by having more than one stack of items, that somehow that was what was blocking the old mechanism pipes from directly feeding the infuser. And so this is keeping the carbon topped off at 1,000. It's transforming wrought iron ingots into steel. And yeah, so I also found that there's I think I may have mentioned this at the end of last episode, but that the wrought iron has an alternative recipe from the bloomery process. In the metallurgic infuser, you can make wrought iron out of iron dust and coal, and so that's greatly sped up my ability to make wrought iron, which is what I need to make steel. So yep, so right here I'm in the middle of crafting 200 steel ingots, and so those are just going to keep churning away until well, until I have lots of steel. So let's head over here and take a look at the quest book and take a look at the mechanism quests, because here in the upper left, getting a power up. So Ultimate Energy Cube. This is the kind of the highest tier mechanism power storage. So of all the energy cubes. So we start off with the basic energy cube. Next is advanced, elite, and ultimate. So the ultimate energy cubes are basically going to use they're going to be powered with a level 1. I can take a basic energy cube right here and basically throw on ultimate control circuits and titanium, and that'll give me the top tier. It doesn't tell me the total RF storage here, but that'll give me the top tier energy cube. So let's give that a shot. All right, I'm back, and it's day because, like I just said, I'm running out of power at night. So let's take a look at the energy cube. And I already crafted one basic energy cube. I have a formula for that in the ME system. So at this point, I think the big, what am I able to? I'm not. I don't have anything. All right, so I'm gonna need some sheets of titanium, energy tablets, and ultimate control circuits. So let's take a look at the tablet. Let's craft up 2 of those. Great. Try that again. Yeah, I've been noticing that in the ME system too. So unless I click start right away, it almost like locks up. And I'm not quite sure. So I have to like give things a couple tries in order to get it to work. So alright, so that'll work to completion. Let's take a look at the do I actually have titanium sheets? I don't know, but let's take a look at the control circuit. So, control circuit, nope, I don't have enough stuff, so I need a couple of elite circuits. So let's, yeah, that's a little annoying. Elite, do next, start. Okay, now it'll work. Alright, so let's give this a couple minutes for the crafting to clear out of the ME system. Alright, I'm back, and it looks like everything is done crafting. So let's take a look here, and I'm almost at the point where I have a energy cube. I'm almost at the point where I have my first of the ultimate control circuit, and what I'm missing is this atomic alloy. So the alloy comes from refined obsidian dust plus a reinforced alloy, and that has to go through the metallurgic infuser again. So let's make one more of the reinforced alloy, and I did go ahead and make the refined obsidian dust formula. So the refined obsidian dust is also a metallurgic infuser, which comes from diamond dust. Diamond dust comes from a crusher, and so I'm able to create one of these, and I have the formula to make, a couple more. So I might as well kick that off too. So let's take a look at the alloy, and so just waiting for that to check in. So to make the atomic alloy, let's make a formula where I need, well, the big question is I don't know how many I need. So let's head up to the induction, or to the metallurgic infuser. Oh, this is queuing up with diamond pieces. Alright, so let's whitelist these guys, because I don't think I did that yet. Obsidian dust should go in the red channel. Save. There we go. So that's how I'm getting this to basically work as well as it's working. So let's try. Yep. So let's prep this too while we're waiting. So item stacks for obsidian dust. go in the purple. Done. And alloys go in the red. Done. And looks like this is done. So let's try throwing both of these in. And that should arrive here and here. Great. Now we're okay. Done already. Nice. So I guess it's a one-to-one formula. So let's grab that alloy. Oh, I guess I should probably upgrade that piping underneath to be a little faster. But at this point, this will be good enough for what I need. Let's go over here, drop this into the ME interface, and at this point, I can now basically request these guys on demand. Nice. So this is going to make 20 of these enriched alloys, and yeah, so pretty cool. Yep, so this is building the base alloy. Yeah, so I guess this is the slow part down here. I guess I could upgrade it. Transporter. Okay, I do have advanced. I'll probably do that during the next cut. But as far as that's going, so let's head back down and take a look at what we need for the... oh shoot, did I... Yeah, okay. Let's whip up the circuit. Nope, that wasn't what it was called. Okay, so let's go back to the energy cube formula. And what are these called? Ultimate control circuits. Okay, so ultimate control circuits. We'll make one of these purple ones. There we go. So these are very expensive as far as parts. And how many do I have? So, yep, I have one. The big question is, I need 3 more. Whew. Okay, let's start that and let that churn. Okay, I made a bit of a mistake here because I didn't read right here. Despite what NEI says, each tier cell requires the previous tier cell to be able to craft it. So I didn't actually have the right material, so now I have to go through and basically craft all the intermediate pieces. So that's going to take quite a while. So I figured what I can do while I'm working on that is try to automate some Botania. So I created a little nook out here. I moved the Runic Altar over to the right, where I'm prepping for hooking it up to the ME system. Now, I read that you can use a dispenser with a wand of the forest in it, hooked up to a redstone signal, to act as the right click if you want to automate the Runic Altar when you do not have the autonomous activators. So I'm going to see if that actually works, but I need to come up with a way to absorb the items that are dropped by the Runic Altar. And so to do that, I'm going to need to make something called a hopper hawk. So these guys are basically Botania's answer to item droppers. They can suck items out of the dropped items and place them into inventories. So what I need to do is drop down 2 mystical gray petals, 2 light gray petals. I'm gonna make sure they're not mana petals. Yep, they're all just just regular normal petals. I'm gonna need a rune of air and then a redstone root. So the rune of air, I used it up when I was crafting one of the other items, I think one of the upgrades. So I'm going to need to drop all this stuff into the altar. So let's grab that stuff. So that's going to be a mana steel, not the redstone root. The redstone root's for the seed. Yes, the mana powder. We're going to need a feather, a string, and a carpet, and a piece of living rock as the piece de resistance. So let's make sure. Let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, try again. And I am missing. What am I missing? The carpet. Okay, and throw that in. Now, these 3 spreaders are going to absorb this very quickly. And voila! Awesome. So, the question is, will a hopper hawk be able to pick that up fast enough before they get absorbed back into the runic altar? I don't know if I can put like a logistical pipe on the runic altar in order to make it activate faster, but that's a very good question. So let's drop in root, petal, 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 1 rune of air, and then the last item should be a seed. Great. So now we have a hopper hawk. Excellent. So back to the ME system. Let's grab some dirt for that guy to live on. So here. Oh, out of range. All right. So let's sleep it off and bring back day. All right, daytime. Let's wait for the RF to build up. Out of range. There we go. All right, system's awake again. So let's grab some dirt. Do I have any grass? No, I only have grass pieces. So let's head down here. I don't know if it can grab above the inventory. That's a good question. Let me just place it. Well, I'll place the dirt on top. I'll place the hopper hawk here. And from this point, it's going to need an inventory to dump into. So let's grab a chest. Okay. And here. And as a test, let's do, what am I missing here? I think I used up another kind of rune. I only have earth and fire, so I'm missing water. So for that, mana powder, steel, fishing rod, sugarcane, bone meal. Alright. So I think I need, vanilla fishing rod, sugarcane, bone meal. Let's grab another hopper just for kicks. And then we're going to need that mana steel and another piece of mana powder. Excellent. And up. So I guess I can report also that the living rock experiment has been working very well. I'm now up to 850 pieces of living rock. It's just insane. So let's get that hopper here. And what I was imagining was I'll just make a little right, I guess here. I'll place attach it to the dropper or to the open crate that will drop the items on the altar. So I'm going to need to feed it a bone meal, mana steel, mana powder, sugarcane, fishing rod, and a piece of living rock. And all that's going to drop down. Okay. The hopper hawk, I think. Yeah, what happened to that? Oh dear. Okay, so back to the living rock. Which inventory is it putting that in? Alright, I'm not quite sure where exactly it's dumping, but I have a feeling it's actually dumping it into the config area of the ME interface, which is feeding back into the ME system. So I think there's a solution here involving item frames. So what I'm going to do is place this nearby. Now the directions say I have to place it on an inventory, and I need to put the item that I do not want it to pick up. So here we have pick up only items in frames. So if I switch the wand to function mode and then come over and shift right click, I can change the behavior. Pick up items not in frames. So hopefully this should detect that the living rock is in a frame and the hopper hawk won't try to pick it up when it's time for the oh dear. Okay, I can't put this here because the mana has to get to the okay, let's quick put this here, and that didn't work at all. Okay, so let's make sure that this is still set to pick up only items not in frames. And is this right clicking? Wand of the Forest is missing its okay, let's put the living rock in. And the hopper hawk picked it up and put it in this frame now. Okay. Okay. Well then I think I might need to put another okay. Let's get rid of this block and try this one, or this box, and try this one more time. Alright, so back at the ME interface, what I'm doing is I'm making a formula with all the parts that I need to make the Rune of Air. So these items will produce 2 runes of air, so I'm going to create a special formula here that I'm going to dump off. I'm going to hook up to the ME system that should hopefully drop all of those items down automatically. So here's the concept. So the pattern dictates to the ME system what it's allowed to drop. The interface will then shuffle it into the item dropper, which will drop it down. And if I just do craft 1, whoops, what am I missing? I'm missing mana powder. So let's throw that in the system. Grab it out of here. Okay, I don't have much of that left. Fortunately, that's just gunpowder inside a mana pool. So, alright, so let's give this a shot. We're going to need a Rune of Air. And next and start. In theory, everything should drop down. The mana beams hit, charge, and the hopper hawk, well, that should then tap it, and the hopper hawk should pick that up. And where does it drop it? It didn't drop it anywhere. Okay, so let's right click, grab the 2 runes of air out of here. So I'm going to have to craft up another item frame. Okay, so let's make an item frame. Let's grab that chest back. It's right here. And then let's make sure we have a logistical pipe. We'll grab 1 advanced logistical pipe here. Okay, so the hopper hawk will drop items into this chest, which we will then blacklist with living rock. And then with that, we'll need a import bus. Yep, pretty easy. Done. and done. And so, in theory now, Rune of Air, let's make 1, which will pull all the items. Start, we'll drop them in. The mana beans will hit and charge. Then the Hopper Hawk should identify that there's a dropped item. Except the frickin' ring grabbed it. Alright, one more time. Rune of Air. Well, now we don't have carpet and mana powder. Okay, plenty of carpet in the ME system now, as well as mana powder. So let's stand back and try this one more time. Because I'm pretty sure it's going to work. I just keep doing a lot of stupid stuff. So, drop that in. Items drop. Items craft. Then the Hopper Hop should grab the runes. Okay. Grabbed, and then place in the chest, which gets absorbed in the ME system. And I now have 2 runes of air in the ME system. Awesome. So, with that, this proves that I've now set up an automated runic altar, and I'm going to just seal this in with glass. Let's grab some more borderless glass, and that should be everything I need to, well, let's get rid of that hopper there. Cool. So glass. Question though, well the beams, yeah, the beams might intersect with that glass, but now actually it didn't before, so it should, yeah, it should have just the right angle to clear that corner. Alright, so that'll keep items from popping out in weird places, and so I can go and duplicate the other runes, and I'll be right back. Alright, so at this point you're probably asking, why did I bother to go to all that trouble to make to automate the Rune of Air and Rune of Water? Well, if you recall, the energy upgrades for Mechanism are going to require this mana lens of efficiency. And so efficiency is going to require a Rune of Water with a mana lens. So let's whip up some formulas here for the mana lens of efficiency. And with that, I should be able to just autocraft the full energy upgrade finally, just by going in here and activating it. And so that'll automatically build all the pieces with the enriched alloy and so on and so forth to give me the opportunity to very quickly upgrade all of my mechanism machines, because I can just churn them out automatically. I have, okay, art I play, I got plenty of that. And so there we go. So energy done. So at this point, that's pretty cool. So I'm going to check in on the last of the circuits. So at this point, let's look at the cube, the energy cube. So I had the basic energy cube, and so I want to be able to upgrade to the next tier, which is the advanced energy cube. So let's grab that, and I probably should have made a formula for it. I'll kick myself later. Okay, so let's switch over to this pattern terminal. So the energy cube then for the ultimate energy cube is going to require, what is it going to require? It's going to require steel plates, the elite control circuits, and some more energy tablets, of which I don't have. Okay, I'm back and it's a new day, so Let's get back to the energy cube. So I'm up to advanced energy cube. So let's get the elite next. Okay, so the elite energy cube is going to require 4 elite control circuits, steel plate, and energy tablets. So let's do that. 1, 2. The 4 elite control circuits. Let's grab the steel and steel plate. 1, 2, and then let's throw in our advanced energy cube here for an elite energy cube. Awesome. And so for the last piece, I think I can try making the ultimate energy cube. And so can I do that? No. Okay, so ultimate energy cube is going to require 4 of the ultimate energy circuits. It's going to require 2 sheets of titanium, and it's going to require tablets. Okay, 1 and 2. Great, so let's grab a formula for that one at least. Except I can't because I don't have any blank. Ah, boy. No blank patterns. How'd I use them all up? I guess I wasn't really watching what I was doing there, so... Alright, there we go. Let's grab one of those, make a formula, and keep that for later when I can actually produce them in bulk. But for now, I think that's what I need to get the ultimate energy cube, which is going to give me one more reward as a full one. Phew. Alright, so let's figure out where we can put this guy and how we can maximize the overnight energy. So let's throw this one in here. At this point, that's failing. Okay, so what are we doing? Is that energy in or energy out at this point? So, okay, 1.6 million RF holds up to 51 million RF. Pretty cool. I can live with that. So, I think that'll cover my entire overnight. So let's dump the other one next to it. I'm still not sure about the the backing, whether it's actually going to uh-oh. What's going on? Out of range. Did I mess it up? I could have messed it up. Alright, so the problem I think is the same as the other situation where I think this guy needs to be treated like it's a energy source. So, yep. Okay, so let's grab the wrench and grab him. There we go. Is that working? Okay, now I think, yes, energy should be drawn off the backside. Yep, through the solid plate side. So let's take a look over here. Okay, we're back online. Alright, that was the problem. So I'm going to have to rotate this around and put it like this, and then hook up another emerald kinesis pipe, and which means I'm going to need to hook this up to another golden kinesis pipe. Okay, there we go. Alright, so that's absorbing. So I guess this one is feeding it faster than it can pull energy out. 51.2. Okay, that's at full capacity. This one's still being charged by the solar array. Excellent. All right, so hopefully between the two, that should cover me overnight with my energy needs. So with that, I'm going to call this an episode. So sorry I wasn't able to get to the lithium today, but I will jump right back on this and start setting up the lithium and gas splitters that I need for the mechanism fusion reactor. So if you could, please leave a comment or a like, and I will see you next time in Regrowth. Bye!